You don't need magic to change your life. All you need is the right perspective. These 15 Stoic principles will help you become stronger, more resilient, and truly inspired. If you genuinely want to transform your life positively, make sure to watch this video till the end. Your like, share, and comment will motivate us to create even better content. And if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on valuable insights. Now, let's get started. Principle number 1. Be content with what you have. Often, we search for happiness through specific achievements, like a good job, a big house, or financial success. But Stoic philosophy teaches us that happiness does not lie in external accomplishments, but in accepting our current circumstances and being content with them. As Stoic philosophers say, happiness is not a destination, it is the acknowledgement of the present moment. If we learn to be content in every moment, we will find inner peace and fulfillment. The habit of pursuing more. We often set specific goals for the future and chase after them. However, the desire for more never truly brings us peace. It only leads to more desires. Contentment comes when we realize, what I have right now is enough. Self-worth and habit. The Stoics believed that we should develop a mindset where we appreciate and accept the small joys in life. For example, sitting down with a cup of tea and enjoying the moment. How to adopt this perspective? Accept the situation. Accept your current situation and find peace in it. Stop comparisons. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on the positive aspects of your own life. Enjoy the little joys. Appreciate the small moments in life, like enjoying a cup of tea or spending time with family. Stoic philosophy teaches us that happiness does not come from external success, but from our own mindset. Principle number 2. Do not worry about things beyond your control. In life, we constantly face situations that are beyond our control. It might suddenly start raining, someone may misunderstand us, or we might miss out on a great opportunity. But does worrying about these things actually help us? Stoic philosophers say, worrying about things we cannot control is meaningless. Worrying never solves a problem. Instead, it robs us of our inner peace. Our energy is limited, and it should only be spent on things where we can truly make an impact. What should you do when something is beyond your control? Imagine you step outside, and suddenly, it starts raining. Now, will you get annoyed and say, my entire day is ruined? Or will you embrace the rain and enjoy the moment? A Stoic person would view this situation differently. The rain is beyond my control, but my reaction is in my hands. I can choose to be frustrated, or I can choose to enjoy the moment. This is the essence of Stoicism. Once you realize that certain things are beyond your control, you will naturally stop worrying about them. Applying this to our lives. We often feel hurt by others' words and actions. If someone unfairly blames or insults you, what will you do? If you keep thinking about their words, you will only lose your inner peace. But if you remind yourself, I cannot control how others behave, but I can control how I respond, you will handle the situation more wisely. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, it is not external events that disturb us, but how we interpret them that causes our suffering. Your mindset is your power. Many things in life cannot be changed, past mistakes, others' opinions, or the uncertainty of the future. But if you constantly dwell on them, you will only waste your strength. Instead, focus on what you can control. Whenever a situation makes you feel anxious, ask yourself, can I change this? If yes, then work towards a solution. If I cannot change it, will worrying about it help me? If not, then let it go. A truly peaceful person is one who accepts what they cannot change and puts their energy into things that can be improved. Principle number 3. Maintain inner peace amidst adversity. Life will always bring storms, whether it's work pressure, relationship struggles, or an uncertain future. These challenges are beyond our control. But what we can control is our inner peace. Stoic philosopher Seneca said, we cannot stop the storm outside, but we can control the peace within. In other words, no matter what happens around you, if you can keep your mind calm, no adversity can break you. How to stay calm in difficult situations. Your response matters more than the situation. Hard times will come, But how you react makes all the difference. Will you panic, or will you stay composed and seek solutions? Detach yourself from what is beyond your control. If your peace depends on external circumstances, your happiness will always be at the mercy of others. Instead, focus on strengthening your inner stability. Give yourself time. Don't let adversity consume you. Spend time with yourself. Meditate, practice deep breathing, or take a walk in nature. You'll notice how your mind gradually regains its balance. Adopt the Stoic mindset. Stoics believe that true peace comes from our perspective. If we see every challenge as an opportunity to grow, we will never lose our mental balance. So whenever life gets tough, remind yourself, I may not control the situation, but I have full control over how I respond to it. The power to remain calm lies within you. Principle number 4. Avoid unnecessary emotions. In life, we often encounter situations that trigger strong emotions like anger, frustration, or sadness. While emotions are a natural part of being human, unnecessary emotional reactions can drain our energy and disturb our peace of mind. Stoic philosophy teaches us to manage these emotions rather than letting them control us. Stoic philosophers say, avoid unnecessary emotions as they only disturb our inner peace. Among these emotions, anger is one of the most damaging. It clouds our judgment, leads to poor decisions, and harms our relationships. The power of anger. Anger is a powerful emotion that can take over when we feel wronged or frustrated. In the heat of anger, we often say or do things we regret. Don't let the fire of anger consume you, as it will only burn your peace. Anger disturbs not only others but also ourselves, and controlling it is essential for maintaining mental stability. How to control unnecessary emotions. Pause and reflect. When anger arises, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, is this anger helping me? This pause gives you time to regain control over your emotions. Shift your perspective. Recognize that you can't control others, but you can control how you react. By changing how you see a situation, you can avoid unnecessary anger. Practice calmness. Engage in practices like deep breathing, meditation, or exercise to calm your mind and prevent emotions from taking over. The Stoic approach. Stoics believe that our peace of mind comes from our ability to control our reactions. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The key is to stay calm and composed, no matter the external situation. By learning to manage our emotions, especially anger, we protect our mental peace and preserve our strength. Principle number 5. Ask yourself, is this really important? In our daily lives, we often face problems that seem massive at the moment. Stressful situations, personal challenges, or urgent tasks that feel overwhelming. But the truth is, many of the things we worry about today will likely feel insignificant in the future. As Stoic philosophers advise, ask yourself, is this truly important? In many cases, our emotions and worries exaggerate the true weight of the situation. It's easy to blow things out of proportion when we're in the midst of stress, but stepping back and gaining perspective can help us realize that not everything deserves our attention and energy. Why do we make small problems bigger? It's human nature to react emotionally to challenges, especially when they seem urgent. But we often forget that most problems, in the grand scheme of life, are temporary. The problem that feels like a mountain today may be nothing more than a memory in 5 years. How to put things in perspective. Take a step back. When faced with a problem, pause and reflect. Will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? This simple question can help you gauge how much energy you should invest in the situation. Focus on what truly matters. Instead of getting caught up in small frustrations, focus on long-term goals and values. Is the current issue aligning with your bigger vision? If not, let it go. Shift your focus. When you realize that many of today's problems won't matter in the future, you can free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. The Stoic perspective. The Stoics believed in living with purpose and focusing on what truly matters. By learning to distinguish between what's important and what isn't, we free ourselves from unnecessary worry. As Epictetus said, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but how we judge them. Principle number 6. Stay strong even in difficult moments. Every chapter of life brings something new, sometimes joy, sometimes hardship. When life throws us into difficult situations, it tests our strength. These moments may weaken us both physically and mentally, but Stoic philosophy teaches us that suffering is the primary ingredient in building strength. The Stoics believed that true strength comes through adversity. Every challenge we face is a new test of our courage, patience, and determination. It is through difficult times that we discover our inner strength and capabilities. The power of difficult moments. Difficult times are never easy, but they are what make us stronger. Just as an athlete strengthens their body through tough training, life's challenges strengthen our minds. Every problem or hardship teaches us how to be patient, how to move forward with willpower, and how to trust ourselves. If you can stay steady through life's difficult moments, you will gain strength not just for overcoming the current issue, but for facing future challenges as well. This strength helps you not only solve present problems but prepares you for anything that comes your way in the future. How to stay strong in tough times. Embrace challenges as opportunities. Life often feels overwhelming when faced with difficulty, but true strength comes when we see these challenges as opportunities for growth. The more challenges you accept, the more capable you will become. Practice patience. Patience is a crucial quality in times of hardship. The Stoic philosophers said, patience is no less a form of strength. To achieve anything in life, sometimes we need to wait and persist, even when things feel impossible. Holding on to patience will allow you to make better decisions and keep moving forward. Believe in yourself. In tough times, the most important strength is self-belief. When everything seems unbearable, remind yourself that you are strong enough to face it. This belief makes you resilient and steadfast in your actions. The Stoic perspective. Stoic philosophy teaches us that life will never be easy. Every difficult moment is a significant part of our journey. Within it lies the opportunity to learn, grow, and become stronger. A true Stoic understands that the adversity they face will make them even stronger. We have the power to transform our lives through challenges and hardship. As we confront difficult moments, we discover how much strength is hidden within us. In the face of adversity, we find a strength that we never knew existed. Principle number 7. See everything in life as a learning opportunity. Life is an ongoing learning process, where every moment brings with it an opportunity to learn something new. When we adopt this mindset, everything around us becomes a chance for growth and understanding. Just like a child curiously explores everything, we too must approach life with that same curiosity. According to the Stoic philosophers, life only teaches as long as we are willing to find ourselves anew. They believed that learning has no end. Life is a continuous process of education, and every event teaches us something. The continuity of life's teachings. Every day, something new happens in our lives. A new experience, a new reaction, or a new opportunity to learn. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "He who is ready to learn is never incomplete." This reminds us that as long as we are open to learning, we will never miss out on life's lessons. On the other hand, Marcus Aurelius said, "Every experience you have can be a new step in learning, as long as you are willing to accept it correctly." When we approach every moment in life as an opportunity to learn, our life becomes truly meaningful. How to learn from everything in life. Cultivate a curious mindset. Whenever something happens in life, don't just see it as a problem, see it as a lesson. A curious mindset can be a powerful aid in your journey of learning. Learn from experience. Learn from every experience in life. If you don't, you will miss out on valuable lessons. Reflect on how things happened and how you handled them. This is where the most valuable lessons lie. Overcome challenges. Life can sometimes be tough, but if you try to learn from those tough moments, they will not just be obstacles, but opportunities for growth. The Stoic perspective. According to Stoic philosophy, learning never ends. This perspective helps us become more aware of and attuned to the lessons life offers. Every day brings a new opportunity for learning, and if we remain open to it, we can continue to grow and improve each day. Principle number 8. Be grateful for what you have, not for what you have lost. In life, we often experience loss, whether it's loved ones, opportunities, or things that were once dear to us. The pain of losing something is never easy, but Stoic philosophy teaches us, what we lose teaches us the value of gratitude. This perspective reminds us that the true beauty of life lies in what we still have, and for that, we should be grateful. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a mindset towards life. When we practice gratitude for everything life has given us, our mental peace increases, and we start adopting a more positive outlook on life. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "He who is grateful for today will never be sorrowful." Through gratitude, we focus on what we have, rather than mourning what is lost. Focus on what you have, not what you've lost. Everything in life is temporary. What we have lost cannot be regained, but what we still have is worth being thankful for. When we express gratitude for the present moment, we not only find more peace, but we also cultivate more joy. It's easy to regret what we no longer have, but if we focus on the blessings of the present, we experience greater harmony and contentment. How to cultivate gratitude? Accept past experiences. Regret over what you've lost will never bring peace. But if you embrace those experiences as valuable lessons, you become stronger. Be grateful for the present, appreciate the people in your life, the things you have, and the moments you're experiencing right now. Learn to be happy with what you have. Learn from everything. Every experience teaches us something. Even loss can make us more grateful and more aware of the blessings we still have. The Stoic perspective. Stoic philosophy teaches us that gratitude is a powerful tool. It makes life more meaningful, enhances our mental peace, and paves the way for happiness. Be grateful for every moment, because within it lies the true joy and peace of life. Principle number 9. See reality, not fear. In life, we often face situations that overwhelm us with fear or anxiety. This fear magnifies the problem and makes it seem more complicated than it really is. However, Stoic philosophers teach us, danger seems large because we fear it. Reality may be much simpler. Instead of letting fear take over, we should look at reality with clarity and simplicity. The truth behind fear. Most of the time, what we fear is simply a creation of our imagination. In reality, the danger or problem we face may be much smaller and more manageable than we initially think. Stoic philosophy reminds us, fear is a product of the mind. Reality is often much simpler. In other words, the situation that frightens us may be straightforward and easy to handle once we summon the courage to face it. How to see reality? Don't be tied by fear. When you face a problem, before jumping into panic, take a moment to analyze the situation. Why are you afraid? Is it truly as dangerous as it seems? Accept reality. Often in life, when we look at problems from a simple perspective, we realize they are easier to handle than we expected. What seems scary at first might be much simpler to manage once we face it with clarity. Awareness, not reacting. Instead of reacting immediately, take time to pause, calm your mind, and observe the reality of the situation. Focus on what is truly happening, not what your fears are telling you. The Stoic perspective. In Stoic philosophy, fear and anxiety are seen as creations of our minds, clouding our perception of reality. The key is to see things clearly and accept them for what they truly are. If danger arises, we can handle it calmly and rationally. Excessive fear and anxiety hinder our progress, but when we confront reality directly, it becomes much simpler to navigate. Principle number 10. Practice self-control, not indulgence. In today's world, we are often drawn to indulgence. Whether it's food, technology, or a comfortable lifestyle, these things increase our desires and can lead to a loss of self-control. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that true freedom is the ability to control oneself. True freedom comes from mastering our desires and keeping our impulses in check, rather than being controlled by them. The importance of self-control. Excessive indulgence can rob us of mental peace and clarity. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Freedom is achieved by those who can control their inner desires." This reminds us that true freedom is not found in external possessions or experiences, but in our ability to control our own wants and needs. How to practice self-control instead of indulgence. Learn to embrace simplicity, limit your desires. If you try to fulfill every wish, you will only experience temporary pleasure, not lasting peace. Stoic philosophy teaches, true happiness comes from those things that are necessary, not from those that are driven by unchecked desire. Cultivate self-reliance. Instead of relying on external pleasures, focus on developing your own strength and abilities. Your true power lies in how well you can control your desires and impulses. Take only what you need, accept only what is necessary for your life, and avoid getting caught up in excessive desires or indulgence. Your primary goal should be self-respect and inner peace, which you can cultivate within yourself. The Stoic perspective. According to Stoic philosophy, true freedom does not depend on external things or circumstances. It is rooted in inner strength. Self-control is based on our ability to master our desires, and when we can control our impulses, we find real peace and happiness in life. Principle number 11. Improve yourself, don't blame others. In our relationships, we often feel the urge to blame others. We want to establish our righteousness by pointing out their mistakes, negligence, or bad behavior. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that changing yourself is the first step to changing the world. The change in the world and society begins when we focus on improving ourselves and changing our perspective. Improve yourself, not blame others. Every time we look for faults in others, we distance ourselves from acknowledging our own flaws or weaknesses. True change happens when we focus on finding our own mistakes and correcting them. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is illogical to expect others to change without first changing yourself." This means that when we change our own behavior, thoughts, and perspectives, society also changes. How to improve yourself? Acknowledge your mistakes. Instead of blaming others, start by accepting your own mistakes. This will put you one step closer to self-improvement. Self-reflect. Regularly evaluate your behavior and thoughts. Try to understand where you can improve and how you can become a better person. Show empathy, not judgment. When you see others' mistakes or weaknesses, try to show empathy instead of judgment. This not only helps you maintain your inner peace but also improves your relationships with others. The Stoic perspective. According to Stoic philosophy, true change lies within ourselves. Changing others is less important than changing ourselves. When we focus on our inner growth, it leads to positive changes in our environment and society as well. Principle number 12. Don't waste time, focus on its proper use. The value of time is one of the most important things in life, yet we often waste it. Day after day, we spend our time on trivial tasks and later realize that we're not truly living or enjoying life. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our time is the true currency of our life. Once time passes, it never returns. Therefore, we should use our time wisely, understanding the value of every moment. Value time. Stoic philosophers were deeply attentive to the value of time. Seneca said, "The person who wastes their time is wasting their life." From this quote, we understand that once time is gone, it never comes back, and if we waste it, we lose the value of life itself. Epictetus further says, "By using time wisely, we make our lives meaningful." Many people know how to value their time. They understand that by using time wisely, they can achieve personal progress and contribute to the improvement of society. We should all follow this path and learn how to use our time effectively. How to use time wisely. Set priorities. First, identify the most important tasks in your life and dedicate time to them. Focus on things that move you closer to your goals. Marcus Aurelius said, "We waste time on things of no value, while neglecting the real tasks that bring us forward." So, understand the value of your time and focus on essential tasks. Think about long-term goals. Focus on your long-term objectives for life. If you invest your time wisely now, you will be closer to achieving your dreams in the future. Alan Sanders said, "Those who invest their time properly achieve success in life." Be present in the moment. Instead of thinking about the past or future, focus on what you can do right now. Aristotle said, "True happiness lies in the present moment." Whatever task you need to do now, do it, and enjoy the moment because this moment shapes your future. the Stoic perspective. In Stoic philosophy, respecting time and using it wisely is what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. When we understand that our time is limited, we are motivated to make the most of every moment. Marcus Aurelius, in his work, Meditations, said, "Time is limited, so spend it wisely, or the best part of your life will be lost." Stoic philosophers knew that there's no greater waste than losing time. When we respect time and use it wisely, we find our true purpose in life and achieve success. Wasting time hinders our progress, but when we use our time correctly, our life becomes full and meaningful. Principle number 13. Turn rejection into strength. In life, rejection and failure are inevitable. Whether it's a failed job interview, a rejected manuscript, or an idea that didn't work out, we've all experienced rejection in one form or another. The important question is, how do we respond to it? Stoic philosophy teaches us that failure is not the end, it's just a step in the learning process. The key is not to let rejection break us, but to use it as a tool to grow stronger. Rejection is part of growth. Rejection is often seen as a negative experience, but Stoics view it differently. Seneca said, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." This means that hardships, including rejection, are what build our strength and resilience. Every rejection brings with it an opportunity to learn, adjust, and move forward. The great philosopher Epictetus also emphasized, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, it's not the rejection that defines you, it's how you handle it. How to turn rejection into strength. Learn from failure. Instead of dwelling on rejection, use it as a lesson. Reflect on what went wrong and how you can improve. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed experiments, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure brought him closer to success, just as every rejection brings us closer to our goals. Develop resilience. Use rejection to strengthen your resilience. Every time you face a setback, you become more capable of handling future challenges. Rejection doesn't define your worth. It defines your ability to persevere and grow stronger. Stay focused on the bigger picture. Remember that rejection is a temporary setback. Keep your eyes on your long-term goals and don't let small failures derail your progress. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that obstacles, including rejection, are not roadblocks but opportunities for growth. Stoic perspective on rejection. For Stoics, rejection is just a part of life's journey. It's not a failure unless we let it define us negatively. Seneca wisely stated, "He who is brave is free from fear of failure, and he who is free from fear of failure can never be stopped." Embracing rejection as part of our growth helps us develop the mental strength to keep moving forward, no matter the challenges. Ultimately, rejection is not the end of the road. It's simply a step on the path to success. By turning it into a learning experience and using it to build resilience, we transform rejection into a powerful force for personal growth. Principle number 14. Peace of mind is the greatest wealth. In today's fast-paced world, we often chase after wealth, success, and material possessions, believing they will bring us happiness. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that a peaceful mind is far more valuable than wealth. True happiness doesn't come from external possessions or achievements but from within, from cultivating inner peace. The true value of peace of mind. In life, we are constantly surrounded by distractions, stress, and chaos. These external circumstances can often disrupt our inner peace, making it difficult to focus on what truly matters. However, the Stoics believed that a peaceful mind is the ultimate source of happiness. Seneca famously said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." True wealth is not measured by the possessions you accumulate but by the tranquility of your mind. The ability to stay calm and composed, no matter the external circumstances, is a hallmark of a Stoic mindset. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that peace of mind is not dependent on the world around us but on how we choose to react to it. How to cultivate peace of mind. Accept what you cannot control. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is to accept the things you cannot control and focus on what you can. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When you let go of the desire to control everything and focus on what you can change, your mind will find peace. Practice mindfulness. Living in the present moment and focusing on your thoughts, actions, and feelings can help bring peace. By practicing mindfulness, you become aware of your emotions and learn to manage them rather than letting them control you. Seneca advises, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." Embrace simplicity. Often we find ourselves stressed and anxious because we are overwhelmed with too many distractions and desires. By simplifying your life, whether it's reducing clutter, saying no to unnecessary commitments, or minimizing material wants, you create space for inner peace. Thoreau beautifully put it, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Stoic perspective on peace of mind. The Stoics believed that external circumstances, wealth, fame, or power, are fleeting and beyond our control. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." It is our thoughts and reactions to life's events that create distress, not the events themselves. By cultivating a peaceful mind, we can experience true contentment, regardless of what happens around us. For the Stoics, the ability to remain calm, composed, and at peace in the face of challenges is the true mark of strength. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable." Let go of the fear and anxiety about what lies ahead, and focus on cultivating peace in the present moment. In conclusion, peace of mind is not something to be found in external accomplishments, but in how we choose to respond to life's challenges. By embracing inner calm and letting go of unnecessary desires, we unlock the greatest wealth, true happiness. Principle number 15. Be aware of death, but do not fear it. Death is a natural part of life that we all must face eventually. Yet, many people live in fear of it, avoiding the reality of its inevitability. The Stoics, however, encourage us to reflect on death not with fear, but with acceptance and awareness. Life is fleeting, so make every moment count. By keeping death in mind, we can live more fully, focusing on what truly matters. The Stoic view of death. The Stoics saw death as an essential part of life's natural cycle. Seneca wrote, "Death is not to be feared, for it is part of nature's plan." Rather than fearing death, we should embrace it as a natural transition and a reminder to live well. Marcus Aurelius also believed that understanding the transience of life helps us value each moment more. He said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Awareness of death helps us prioritize what truly matters. When we understand that our time is limited, we are motivated to spend it wisely, focusing on personal growth, meaningful relationships, and contributing to the greater good. Epictetus put it simply, "Don't fear death. Instead, focus on how to live a good life." How to live with the awareness of death. Live in the present. The awareness of death reminds us that time is precious. Instead of worrying about the past or fearing the future, focus on making the most of each moment. By living in the present, we become more mindful of our actions and decisions. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Embrace mortality, acknowledge that death is inevitable, and let this realization inspire you to live authentically." Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Use your time wisely and avoid procrastination. Recognize that every day is a gift. Let go of fear. Fear of death often leads to anxiety and a sense of urgency. But the Stoics teach that death is simply a part of life's natural order. By accepting it, we free ourselves from unnecessary fear. Epictetus wisely said, "Death is not a tragedy, but living a life without purpose is." The Stoic perspective on death. The Stoic perspective on death is not one of sorrow, but of acceptance and wisdom. Death is inevitable, and by keeping it in mind, we can cultivate a sense of urgency to live meaningfully. Marcus Aurelius said, "Death smiles at us all we can do is smile back." By acknowledging the reality of death, we can choose to live each day with purpose, gratitude, and authenticity. The fear of death often holds us back from fully experiencing life. By accepting it as a natural part of existence, we can break free from that fear and embrace every moment as an opportunity for growth and fulfillment. In conclusion, the Stoic teaching is clear: be aware of death, but do not fear it. Instead, let the awareness of your own mortality guide you to live a life of purpose, wisdom, and joy. If you can implement these Stoic principles in your life, you will truly become a new person. They will not only change your mental peace, perspective, and outlook on life, but they will also transform your attitude towards life itself. Which principle do you consider the most important in your life? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to watch more inspiring videos, make sure to subscribe, share, and like the channel.